Welcome to Happy Video Consulting. Today, we're diving deep into the brand new 2025 McKinsey Global Survey on AI. Look, it seems like pretty much everyone's using AI now, right? But the real question is, who's actually making money from it? And more importantly, how in the world are they doing it? So let's pull back the curtain and see what the data really tells us. And wow, the numbers here they're pretty staggering. I mean, AI adoption has just exploded. A huge 78% of organizations say they're now using AI in at least one part of their business. And get this, just 2 years ago, that number was only 55%. So yeah, AI isn't some far-off sci-fi thing anymore. It's here. It's officially mainstream. Okay, but here's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? Even with all this adoption, the survey found something kind of shocking. Over 80%, yeah, you heard that right, 80% of these companies aren't seeing any real, tangible impact on their bottom line. So there's this massive disconnect between using AI and actually profiting from it. What gives?
And that's exactly what we're going to unpack. It turns out, this isn't about getting lucky. The companies that are really crushing it with AI, the ones seeing those real financial returns, are all following a very specific set of strategies. You can think of it as their playbook. And today, we're going to break down the 3 most critical plays from that book.
All right, first up, the leadership playbook. The survey makes this super clear. If you want to get real value out of AI, it just can't be some side project for the IT department. Nope, it has to be a C-suite priority, starting right at the very top.
And right away, we see the first huge gap. Get this, only 28% of organizations say their CEO is directly in charge of AI governance. And you might be thinking, why does that matter? Well, it matters a lot, because the data shows a direct link. When the CEO is personally invested in this, the company is way more likely to see a real financial impact. It's simple, right? When the boss takes charge, things actually get done.
This quote from a McKinsey senior partner, Alexander Sukarevsky, really just nails it. He says, getting value from AI isn't about new tech. It's about transformation. You know, it's not some tool you just plug in and walk away from. It's a catalyst for fundamental change. And a change that big, it absolutely needs leadership from the very top to manage it, to fund it, and to push it through the whole company. Okay, so leadership is key. We got it. But what is that leadership supposed to do? Well, that brings us to our second play. And honestly, this one might be the most important of all. It's called Rewire Your Organization. It means you have to fundamentally change how work actually gets done. The survey is crystal clear on this one. The number one thing, the single biggest factor that determines if a company will actually profit from Gen AI is rewiring. And that just means totally redesigning your business processes to truly leverage the technology. See, it's not about doing the same old things a little bit faster. It's about finding completely new ways to work. But here's the crazy part. Even though rewiring is the most critical thing you can do, only 21% of companies using Gen AI have even started doing it. This number right here, that is the value gap. Most companies are just, sprinkling a little AI on top of their old, creaky processes and hoping for magic. It doesn't work that way. You've got to rebuild from the ground up.
And rewiring isn't just about the workflow. It's also about your people and your team structure. The top-performing companies, they're using this really smart hub-and-spoke model. So they keep the supercritical stuff, like risk management and data governance, in a central hub. That way you get consistency and control. But for things like tech talent and getting people to actually use the AI, they create spokes, embedding those teams right into the different business units. This combo is killer. You get central control and specialized expertise, right where it's needed most. All right, so you've got the leaders on board, and you've got a plan to rewire everything. Great. Play number 3 is all about making it happen, mastering risks and scaling. And let me tell you, this is the stage where a lot of really promising AI projects they fizzle out if you don't handle it right. Now, the good news here is that organizations are definitely getting more serious about risk. We're seeing a really big jump year over year in companies actively trying to tackle the big Gen AI risks. Things like inaccuracy, cybersecurity, and accidentally stealing intellectual property. Being proactive like this is absolutely crucial for building trust and avoiding those big, messy problems that can derail everything. But, and this is a big but, there's a huge blind spot. While everyone's focused on avoiding the bad stuff, they're completely failing to measure the good stuff. An incredible 83% of organizations aren't tracking any well-defined key performance indicators, or KPIs, for their AI solutions. You've heard the saying, right? If you don't measure it, you can't manage it. And you for sure can't prove it's working, so you can scale it up. So, if that's the blind spot, what's the fix? Well, the survey shows that scaling isn't some kind of magic trick. It's a discipline. The companies that get it right consistently do these 4 things. They track those KPIs we just talked about. They create a clear roadmap. They make sure senior leaders stay actively involved. And they build dedicated teams just to focus on adoption.
Okay, now for the final and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle, the people. Because none of it works if you don't address the massive shift AI is causing in the workforce. This is way more than just a tech issue. It's a talent issue.
And the data here is really interesting. It's not a simple story of job losses. Sure, companies expect to need fewer people in areas like service operations and HR, but they also expect to need more people in tech-focused roles like IT, product development, and software engineering. So you see, it's not just about replacement. It's a strategic reshuffling of talent.
The companies leading the pack are tackling this head-on with a three-part strategy. First, they're hiring for totally new jobs. Think AI compliance specialist or AI ethics specialist. Second, they're pouring money into reskilling their existing employees. And third, and this part is key, they're not just cutting jobs to save a buck. They're taking the time saved by AI and moving people into new, higher-value activities. So, let's wrap this all up. The path to getting real, bottom-line value from AI? It's not some big secret. It's a playbook. It all starts with leadership from the top. Then, you have to fundamentally rewire how your company actually works. And finally, you have to scale it all up with a smart strategy for managing risk, measuring success, and developing your people.
And that brings us to the one question I really want to leave you with. It's not about if you're using AI. At this point, we know the answer is almost certainly yes. The real question, the one that matters, is this. Are you truly rewiring your organization to capture its value? Because that, right there, is the difference between just playing with AI and actually winning with it.